So welcome back, guys. This is video 2 on basic maintenance on your Sea-Doo Spark. Part 1, I showed you how to change or take the top lid off of it, and now we're going to be doing the spark plugs. So follow along, and hopefully easy enough for you to do it. Alright, so basic things you're going to need is a T30. Then you're going to need, obviously, your spark plugs, and these guys are the NGK 7784 or CR8EB. That's what's required for this wave runner. These are actually like stock style plugs. You're going to need a spark plug socket, which is 5/8, and then I'm going to be using some anti-seize lubricant and also spark plug boot and electrical connector dielectric grease. These are available at any auto parts store that you could pick up. They're like $1.50 each. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect this guy right here, which is like a sensor. Then what I'm going to do is loosen the coils. Make sure not to lose these bolts. And then I'm going to disconnect them by pressing the little button. There you go. And they should just literally slide out if you twist it a little. There you go. That's it. So these look like they never been changed. I'm not the original owner of this one. The other ones, those guys I've had since new. This one I just picked up recently, and I noticed it does have a little bit of a rough idle, so that's why I'm swapping out the spark plugs. But I usually swap out the spark plugs once a year regardless. So I got my spark plug bit with an extension, and slide this guy in here and break them loose. That's basically it. And they look a little beat up. It's always a good thing to inspect your plugs. And as you can see, these are still the factory original plugs. There are some cross-reference plugs that you could find, but here's my advice for you. So Sea-Doo Spark designed this machine to run these spark plugs at this temperature. So all those performance plugs that people get, like with the weird tips and stuff like that, like the extra tips and extra electrodes, or like the iridium ones, in my experience using it on anything performance or anything high revving or anything like that, not always a good idea. And half of those are made in China that are even sometimes made with the metals that they shouldn't be made for a spark plug. So sometimes the tips break off and they play ping pong inside your cylinder. So these two, you can see, are completely different color and gap differently. So it's about time to change these. So I'm going to be using very little of this anti-seize on here. You only need a tiny amount. And just coat slightly. Be careful not to get it all over the spark plug so it doesn't foul out the plug. And then as far as the dielectric goes, what I do is Put a very small amount. That's actually too much. Use a tiny bit. And then into the socket it goes. And into the hole it goes. So what I do is make sure I started carefully by hand, make sure the thread catches, it doesn't cross thread. Get it finger tight. Right there. And then tighten it about a quarter turn. They don't need to be cranked. And the same process goes for all three. Okay, so the next step is putting the coils back in. Then reconnect them. Reconnect the sensor. And there you go, guys. The spark plugs are changed. That's all. Thanks for watching the second video. And in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to change the oil. So if you like this, make sure you guys subscribe. I'll have more videos like this. Make sure you check out the next video. Later.